Ducks. Can't live with them unless you're good with animals and know how to take care of ducks. Can't live without them. Unless you don't like ducks. Now, you probably failed to notice that I didn't say can't live with them unless you're in the Star Wars universe. Probably because you're not constantly noticing when people don't mention Star Wars. But don't worry, I'm here to point that out to you. Because ducks are in Star Wars. They're everywhere in Star Wars. In the official novelization of A New Hope, as Obi-Wan Kenobi praises the piloting skills of a young Luke Skywalker, he tells him, still, even a duck has to be taught to swim. To which Luke rightfully replies, "What's a duck?" To which Obi-Wan frustratingly answers, "Never mind." This could be seen as a cute little wink to the reader, since, as we all know, this takes place a long time ago in a galaxy way over there. But this isn't the only instance of ducks being brought up in Star Wars. In A Phantom Menace, as a ship is going down, Captain Panaka explains, if we can't get the shield generator fixed, we'll be sitting ducks. And nobody's like, what's a duck? Now, this could easily be seen as a terrible mistake on the part of acclaimed screenwriter George Lucas. After all, in a universe bound together by a mystical force and overflowing with force ghosts, we still have characters saying things like, "I'll see you in hell." So, maybe they believe in hell, or maybe it's just easier to use colloquial phrases so we're not scratching our heads when we hear things like, "I'll see you in Glemby," or "If we can't get the shield generator fixed, we'll be sitting fligs." Even though we also hear things like Tauntaun and Rancor and a bunch of other made-up nonsense like Discroony Dopot Sleemo. Thank God they used Earth language for that, otherwise I'd be confused. But elsewhere in Phantom Menace, we literally see ducks. Of course, in later editions, these were digitally altered to be Peliki, because George Lucas is very clever. So Lucas clearly doesn't want there to be ducks, despite not changing the mention of sitting ducks to sitting fligs or Peliki. But he doesn't seem to mind mentioning tons of other animals from Earth. There's a bee in this very romantic scene between Padme and Anakin, and it has yet to be digitally removed. There are just like snakes on Dagobah. There are rats in Jabba's palace. There are owls on Endor, and in the Ewoks movie, there are horses just everywhere. Not aliens resembling horses, or rats, or snakes, but just horses and rats and snakes. The most famous ship in the entire series is named after falcons. An assault vehicle is called a chicken walker, and this happy fella is called a Kowakian monkey lizard. So, 2 in 1. Point is, Earth is everywhere in Star Wars. And this can actually be explained by a theory called convergent evolution, which basically explains how similar traits in animals can be found in completely different evolutionary chains. A horse might grow a duckbill, and a gopher might grow a duckbill, because duckbills are evolutionarily advantageous, regardless of your species or where you are. This seems to be a likely explanation, as George Lucas is known for his scientifically minded world building. Like how midichlorians, the magic bugs that live in your blood, can let you manipulate objects with a mystical force in less than 12 parsecs. In The Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon celebrates the fact that there's always a bigger fish by calling something a fish. But the fish we see isn't a fish, it's a weird fish-like creature that swims. So maybe just swimmers are fish and flyers are birds. But the specifics are what makes this another galaxy. That's a Gloober fish, not a trout. It's a Peliki bird, not a duck. You could have a Jumbish bear, but you couldn't have a panda bear. Except, in the official novelization of Star Wars, there's this passage. "Bantha's all right," Luke whispered over his shoulder, not considering in the excitement of the moment that 3PO might not know a bantha from a panda. So now there are also pandas. And 3PO actually would probably know what a panda is because he also knows what dogs are. Die, Jedi dogs! Great movie. Okay, so maybe convergent evolution isn't quite right. That actually probably only explains the aliens in Star Wars. A Tauntaun is a snow lizard with horns and fur and other traits similar to Earth animals because those traits are evolutionarily advantageous to them. But then there are the actual horses. There are the dogs. There are snakes. And falcons, probably. Okay, so let's like really try to unpack this, all right? Maybe like a fan theory. So we know this is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So the light we see emitted from that galaxy, as seen from Earth, is millions and millions of years old. So we now look up at the galaxy and we see Star Wars. We're seeing what happened millions and millions of years ago. They also can travel faster than light via hyperspace. So millions and millions of years ago, when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, Luke and 3PO were talking about ducks and dogs and pandas because they existed in their galaxy. Then, fan theory, at some point, they collected all of the Earth creatures onto a spaceship, a Boba's Ark, if you will, and traveled through hyperspace into our galaxy, crashing into Earth and killing the dinosaurs. What we thought was an asteroid was really a spaceship called the Centurion Hedgehog or whatever the f. So after the crash and mass extinction of the dinosaurs, off the ship walked every species of Earth that we now know. Snakes, monkeys, lizards, and the most dominant Earth animal in the Star Wars universe, humans. So we, actually, are the descendants, fan theory, of the humans from Star Wars. The timing works out, as does every single other thing. Prove me wrong. Sorry, I'm now getting word that there's also a Star Wars novel called Alien Invasion that was commissioned by Lucas that dove into the origin of humans in the Star Wars galaxy by explaining that in the 25th century on Earth, humans were facing a totalitarian computer-controlled society, and so went back in time and traveled to another galaxy and then made Star Wars. So that novel was canceled. So actually, I think my theory holds up, and we're all descendants of the humans from Star Wars. Or wait, fan theory, none of this matters. There's no reason for ducks in Star Wars other than George Lucas is lazy and not that great. And fan theory, Star Wars is kind of dumb. Also, fan theory, Supreme Leader Snoke is actually real tiny. Or fan theory.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. Seems like you like watching stuff. If that's the case, please come to UCB Sunset Theater and see me, Jack O'Brien, and my not brother, Daniel O'Brien, and other cracked people, presumably, along with Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgariff, the hosts of the My Favorite Murder podcast, as well as guests on one of our most popular episodes of the Crack podcast. We're going to be talking about murder. We're going to be talking about mayhem. We're going to be talking serial killers. We're going to be talking urban legends that happen to be true. We're going to, those are mostly synonyms. I've just heard that listing things is good for punctuating your sales pitch. Anyways, it is January 14th, 7 p.m. Be there or be murdered. I can't say that, can I?